Hey guys, welcome back. It's Melissa with Investment Yoga. Today I prepared a sequence that will focus on the upper body, the shoulders, do some strengthening and stretching. We all could use this from being at a computer, sitting in a car, and just everyday life. So this could be for yogis, for cyclists, for really anybody. So what I need from you today is your mat or something soft, and maybe a block or two, and a strap is optional. So when you are ready, meet me on the mat. Let's begin in the seated position. Cross-legged if that feels good, or you can sit on a block or whatever is comfortable. And bring your hands to your knees, and we'll just do some seated circles. So start going to the right or clockwise, and just start to give some movement to your spine here, starting with small circles and then graduating to some bigger circles. We're just waking up the spine here, and then go the opposite direction. And bring yourself to center, sitting up straight in a good posture. And we'll do some circle or some seated cat cows. So on an inhale, bring your shoulders forward, your chest proud, breathing, looking forward or up. And on an exhale, round your back like we do in cat, having your hands kind of pulling your body back, C shape in the core. And let's do that again. Inhale and pull back, exhale, just giving yourself some movement, opening up the shoulders. And continue doing this at your own pace for the first couple times here. One more round. And back to center. Bringing your hands out to the mat, and we'll bring our arms up, reaching high on an inhale. On an exhale, push some of that energy out. Do that again. Inhale up and push some of that energy out. One more time. And push that out. Bring your arms up, reach high, and on an exhale, turn to your left, bringing your right hand to your left knee. Your left hand's behind you, gaze is behind you. And bring yourself up, and we'll twist to the other side, hand to the knee, other hand on the mat if that works. Bringing your arms up. Let's do that one more time. Trying to give yourself a little bit more of a twist this time. Inhale up and turn. Nice job. Bringing your arms up again, lengthening through the ribs. And bring your right hand to the mat and reach your arm over. Kind of spiraling open that chest, opening, giving some space in those ribs. And reach up and do it to the other side. Continuing to breathe. Hand down. And we'll reach over. If you want to have a little bit more stretch, you can keep pushing your arm out and your elbow down. Try to keep those seat bones on the mat. So try not to come up like that. And the other side, hand down, right arm over, looking up if that's available. And hands back down. Now, bring your right arm in front of you and your left arm underneath. Then twirl them together, and this is called eagle arms pose. So right now, you're probably getting a stretch in your shoulders. So if this is a good stretch, stay here. If you want a little bit more stretch, begin to lift the elbows up to shoulder height. Don't go above the shoulders. Breathe. And if you want even more of a stretch, you can begin to cat your back, C-shaped, and begin to bow, bringing your chin towards your chest, really opening up that shoulder area. Don't forget to breathe. And wherever you are, let your arms out. Shake that off a little bit. That's a pretty intense shoulder stretch. Switch the position of your legs, however you're sitting, and bring your right arm across and your left arm over this time. So we're switching however you did it the other time. Twisting your hands in, and if this is too hard, sometimes one side's harder, you can always take your arms to like bear hug yourself, and that is a stretch as well. So again, stay here if this is a good stretch for you. If you want a little more, you can raise those shoulders. The nice thing about this stretch is you can do it at your desk or in your car, well, not while you're driving, but it is an extremely good stretch. Stay here, or if you want to bow, tuck your chin, C-shape your body, and begin to fold forward. Again, remembering wherever you are to breathe. And come up, release the arms, give yourself some circles, shake it out. And let's do a couple shoulder shrugs. So hands down, bring your arms up like this towards your ears. Often our shoulders end up working up there when we get stretched, and let them go. And squeeze those shoulders up towards our ears and let it go. And doing things like this tricks the body to let your muscles know to let go. So again, these are something you can do anywhere, and let go. And just shake it out just a little bit more. Bring your hands to your knees or wherever it's comfortable, and we will stretch the neck. So looking forward, bring your chin towards your chest. Continue to breathe. And bring your head, look up to the sky, however is comfortable to you. Maybe open the jaw, relax the sides of the face. And back down. And back up. Come to center. Bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. And you can always keep your hands up here on your shoulders to keep them down. A lot of times we want to like bring them up, and that causes more tension. Come back to center. And let's do the other side. And you'll notice sometimes one side's like tighter than the other, and that's the case for me. My right side's always tighter. And back to center. Let's just roll out the wrists while we're here. Forward, backwards. We don't stretch our hands enough. Hands to prayer. Bring them down, stretching the hands. Down, you're stretching the fingers. Then bring the back of the hands together and bring them up. So you're getting a stretch in that wrist, one that we normally don't get. So go slowly down and wrists together and come up. And you may feel this tomorrow, right, in these muscles, because this isn't something we do very often. So I suggest doing that when you're sitting there waiting for something or just bored. Let's bring your right arm out and stretch each finger back. This is another thing that I recently learned, and it's fantastic. A lot of people are struggling with using computers every day. So one at a time, and go to the next hand, just slowly. Nice job. Shake that out. We're going to go seated forward fold in the seated position. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can put your legs out straight. So bring your arms up, look up towards your hands, and begin to bring the body forward. And we want to keep the back as straight as possible here because we want to get the stretch in the back. So keeping it straight, folding, 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 reaching forward, lengthening through the head, bringing the shoulders away from the head, reaching forward. And once you get down, you can reach forward if that is comfortable for you. Continuing to breathe. Bring your head down to the mat if that feels good. Otherwise, you can always use a block at any level. There's 3 levels. And slowly come up. And let's switch our legs again. We often get in these patterns of having our legs one way or the other, so being forced to switch is always a good thing. Breathe in, and let's lean forward. Again, feeling when you're stretching forward, the muscles in the back being stretched all the way down into the glutes. And again, come down. You can come down to your block. You can come all the way down to the floor, whatever suits you. Nice job. Let's come up on the mat into a tabletop position. So hands are underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Bring your knees to the outside edge of the mat, and we're going to do a child's pose. So big toes to touch, reaching your arms forward. Head comes down to the mat. Forehead rests. And focus in on your breathing here. Close your eyes, sometimes that helps. And try to deepen each breath as you bring it in and out. If you want a more active child's pose, you can lift your fingers like this, lifting your armpits up. Gives you a little bit more of a stretch in the back and the arms. And let's walk those hands to the right. Feeling that stretch in the left side body. You can again bring the fingertips up, bringing the armpits up. Or you can take that left hand over your right and kind of look under your shoulder to get a stretch deep into the ribs. Continuing to breathe. And let's walk our hands back to the middle. Take one inhale and exhale. When you're ready, start walking to the left side. Again, lifting the fingertips if you want more, or to intensify it, bring your right hand over your left, and you can peek up towards your armpit, making sure to keep your bottom by your feet and not lifting the body too much on the right side. Inhale and exhale, bringing yourself back to the middle. And come up to tabletop position. Again, we're going to target those wrists for a moment. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And spread your fingers wide. And we're just going to do some circles here. Just loosening up the wrists, waking them up, ready for some pressure. And engage your core as you're doing this, keeping a strong back. Then take your hands to the outside of the mat, so your fingers are facing the outside edges of the mat. And again, let's just do some circles. Let's do 5 circles. And you can come wide if that feels better for you, or you can stay little, or you can do both. And switch the sides. I often hear complaints about wrists and hands and shoulders from doing yoga, so this is a good thing to be practicing. Now take your right hand, place the top of the palm, and start to bring your body backwards. Now do this extremely carefully and slowly, because this is stretching this muscle in the front of the arm. Take a deep breath here. And roll it out. Let's do it to the other hand, top of the hand, and sit back slowly, slowly, slowly. Continuing that breath. And come up and shake that out. Coming back to that tabletop position. Let's do a cat-cow series. So on an inhale, bring your gaze forward or up, dropping your belly down, bringing your seat bones to the sky. On an exhale, push the mat away, round the back, pulling the navel in, and tucking the hips under slightly. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Really stretching through the shoulder blades, pushing the mat away, peeling the shoulder blades apart, and inhale. Now do these at your own pace for 3 more times. You can give yourself any movement in the hips that you would like. And meet me back in tabletop. With your left hand planted, bring your right arm up into the sky and bring it under and hover it above the mat. You can place your hand down on the mat, but not your shoulder. Bring it up. We're setting up for thread the needle. Bring it through, but don't set it down. And back up. And this time, bring your arm through, placing the shoulder on the mat, looking towards the outside edge of the mat or towards your hand. You can leave your left hand where it is. You can bring your left hand forward, or you can bring your left hand around and continue to be spinning. Whatever feels good. 2 full breaths here, in and out. In and out. Now wherever you are, bring that left hand back by the base, pressing yourself up, bringing that arm up into the sky, and set it down. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So wrists underneath your shoulders. Bring your left arm up into the sky. Bring it under, only setting the hand, if anything, down. And bring yourself up, keeping that core tight, engaging it as you're holding. And one last time, and we'll bring it all the way through. Again, you can stay here with your hand here by your face. You can bring your arm forward, get a little bit more pressure on that shoulder. Or you can bring it around and place it on your thigh for a bind and continue to open that body. Again, whatever feels good to you, whatever you need. Today may be different from another day, and that's okay. And bring yourself back, bringing that arm up and through, and place it on the mat. Now let's do a couple cat-cows just to neutralize the spine here after that. So on an inhale, drop down the belly, gaze up. Exhale, chin to chest, looking towards that navel, opening out that back. And cat, and cow. Bring yourself back to center, and I'd like you to look over your right shoulder towards your hip, and then your left. Kind of a sassy pose, as I always say. One more time. And center. Now from tabletop, we're going to come up into downward dog. So tuck the toes under. Send your seat into the sky, creating an inverted V with your body. Now this is our first downward dog. So walk out the feet. Drop the head. Release your jaw. Pressing the mat away with your hands. And from here, bring yourself down to plank pose. So a comfortable plank pose should come straight out of a downward dog. So this is a good way for us to check our down dog. So from here, check your hips, make sure that they're straight in line with your body. Sometimes having a mirror is helpful. We want to make sure when our butt isn't up or we're not sagging down. Arms are strong. And then let's come back up to that down dog. See how that feels coming straight out of your plank. Breathe in and out. Again, giving yourself any movement. And then let's come back down to that plank. Give yourself any adjustments. Pulling the core in towards your spine. Come back up to down dog. Again, let's focus on being still, releasing the head to gravity. And come back to plank one more time. Checking that posture. You're strengthening your arms, your back, core, legs. This is a fantastic pose that's hard. And bring yourself all the way down to the mat. Place your chin on the mat, hands alongside you. And we're going to do a baby cobra. So you can use your hands, bring your body up, looking straight ahead. Pressing the legs into the mat, pressing the feet down. Trying to open that front body and bring yourself down. Do that again. Bringing your body up. You can lift the hands if you'd like. And back down. One more time. And back down. Now place one cheek on the mat, arms alongside you. And we'll do locust pose. So bring your chin back to the mat. And on an inhale, bring your body up. Bring your legs up, your arms reaching backwards. Gaze is forward or down. And bring yourself back down, placing the opposite leg down. Chin back to the mat. We'll do it one more time. And come back down, placing one cheek down on the mat. And bring your legs up into the air. And just let them fall right to left. Just windshield wiping them helps release any tension that we may have created in the back. Bring your hands to the mat. Bring yourself back up to tabletop position. And here is where you can grab those blocks or books or use your couch. What we're going to be doing is stretching our shoulders in the back of our arms. So from your knees, bring your shoulders onto those blocks. Hands are in prayer pose. And you begin to sit back. And you can keep your hands here or bring them back towards your head if that feels better. And if you need more, bring your body back a little bit and stretch that chest, bow that chest towards that ground. It's a heart opener. Two more breaths here. And bring yourself up. And again, like I said, you can always use the couch to do that stretch. It's a really nice stretch, or, the counter, or even your desk. Just putting your arms up on and bringing them down. It's a very nice stretch all the way through here. Let's just do a cat-cow. Just move that back in any way you need to do. And we're going to bring our hands forward, reaching them forward into puppy pose. Active pose, you can bring your fingertips up. Chest is coming towards the ground. Tucking your toes under for intensity, or you can leave them down. And back up. Let's do some circles front and back. Now spin your legs around. And we're going to do a couple of bridges, because that's also a heart opener. Feet are a good distance from your hinder. You don't want them too close. You want your knees over your ankles. Hands alongside. And bring your hips up into the sky. Making sure to keep the legs together, not letting them splay out. And come down. And come back up. And down. And this next time, if you want a little bit more shoulder stretch, bring yourself up and begin to walk your hands underneath your body. You can grab them. And this just stretches the shoulders a little bit more. 3 breaths here. Checking your posture, knees together. Core is engaged. And come down. Feet to the outside edges of the mat, and we'll windshield wiper this way. And tuck your knees in. Give yourself a little yogi massage, as we call it, one way and the other. And we'll do the supine butterfly. So recline butterfly. Bring your feet together, letting your legs fall out to the side. Depending on what kind of stretch you're looking for, you can take your blocks and put them underneath your knees as you butterfly your legs out, like this, or at any level. That's more restorative. You can also just put them under your hips, because then you could sit like this forever. But depending on what kind of stretch you're looking for. Also, if you normally have your legs in like this, because you're more flexible, try to bring them out. I encourage you to bring them out a little bit further, so you get a different stretch in your hips. And getting in a routine is what we all do, and I'm here to help you get into a different routine. Your hands can be on your legs. One more deep breath here. Bringing your legs in together. Pulling your knees in. And let's roll ourselves a couple times. This is a nice massage on your spine. If you have any back issues, I'd avoid doing this. And bring yourself up to a seated position. Give yourself a couple shoulder curls forward and backwards. And then there's always the trusty pulling the arm across the body to give yourself a little bit more stretch. Reaching up, bringing one hand down the back. Reaching up and down the back. And then reaching up. Bringing your hands down. And that is all I have for you today. So I hope you feel that your heart is open, your shoulders are open, you feel more loose. And if you have any suggestions, comments, questions, leave those in the comments below. Remember to hit subscribe and like so you get notifications of the new classes, which will be alternating between Pilates and yoga. So have a fantastic day, and thanks for joining me.